the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Nigel.
Cheers.
Well, I'm Christine Link, and I am the coordinator and facilitator of the Actively Coping with Cancer program. And this is Sheila Livingston, and on my right is Jane Goodall, who have been an integral part of the program that we run. So they would like to have a time to have a bit of a input into what we're going to say. I'm not quite sure what you'd like to know, but thank you. We wouldn't be here today continuing to provide this program for cancer patients or people who have been impacted by cancer in their whānau if it hadn't been for the council supporting it for many, many years in the community. So it is before we finish, we would say a big thank you. The program, I think, as I've said, it's called Tai Chi Qigong with stress management and relaxation. And Tai Chi Qigong is just we've adapted it from the Qigong program that I am a trained, I don't know really. But anyway, it's a beautiful, easy, simple, comfortable exercises that are done in a relaxed way in which I have been able, because of my past background as a adult educator and as a counsellor, to adapt for people who have got varying physical and psychological needs. So in that way it sort of differs from other traditional classes because we input periods for rest, we input periods for people wanting to have a chat about something. So each session does have a certain variability about it. What else can I say? I've been offering this program, or we, because it's not just me, for about 20 years now in the community. Initially, I was approached by the Cancer Society to run it in Wellington for the Cancer Society, and then I ran it up here in Kapiti, and they supported and administered it for many years until their priorities, I guess, changed, and we had to find our funding from elsewhere, and people in the group really didn't want it to stop. So that's when we started approaching the adult education and people and the groups like you. But both Sheila and Jan, I think, would like to tell you how being part of the program is important to them, and I think they need to say it rather than me. But I do want to say we run as a group. Sheila here rings everybody, well, the majority of the people up each week to remind them that it's on and to have a chat if they need to. Just wonderful. And Jan here's been, over the years, also helpful in that role and helped when I've needed extra assistance and contact and things like that. So everybody in the group does play a part. It's not just one person facilitating it. And anyway, they would like to say something, so
I would like to say that Christine is a wonderful Qigong instructor. She creates very stimulating sets of movements which can easily be adapted to people and people's differing health needs. The group core are warm and welcoming. We have had people join while undergoing treatment, then return to their jobs. Others have just wanted support for a short time, so we have a flexibility. We have group discussions of set topics once a month. Then these can range from beneficial food, setting goals and relaxation, and that's just mentioning a few. Again, very stimulating for cancer sufferers. We all benefit so much from this group, and it would be fantastic if Christine could gain financial support to continue her good work with actively coping with cancer.
Thank you, Sheila. Jan, did you want to say something?
From my point of view, my own cancer was about 12 years ago, and I'm very lucky to be here today. Part of that, people tell me, is my mental approach to life. Get on with it. And I think the one thing that makes medical authorities today recommend Tai Chi, don't they? You see it in the articles and things like that. But the original form of Tai Chi is not for most of us. It is too difficult. We can't stand on one leg or stretch as much as we would like to and bend as much as we would like to. And the whole point with this current group is that you do as much as you can. When you can't, you stop. You can sit down if you like. We have one very lovely lady at the moment who is extremely unwell. She can do very little of it, but she sits and her hands are just doing this. And you can see that she enjoys coming, it helps her, it's a positive thing. And I think there are other Tai Chi groups around, but they wouldn't give you that. It's much more discipline. There we are. So I hope we can continue.
Lovely. Does anybody have any questions?
You just one. Nigel. Yeah, Christine. And thank you. Hey, thanks for that. How many are in your group? How many would you have constantly in your group?
We have, an average of about 7 or 8 people coming each time.
Yeah.
Have a list of about 15 or 16 people, and some people who have been we still keep in contact with because they may not be able to come at the
Okay.
moment. So that's
Yeah.
probably what we've got.
But you keep an eye on
We did
them
keep
and-
the numbers small because we started very tentatively after the COVID restrictions were lifted, and that was really important because we've got a lovely big hall, and with only a fewer people we were able to do the social distancing and all of that. So it is, we invite people, the group know that if they know of anybody who they think would benefit from it, they can invite them along.
Yeah.
But we haven't for a long time actually openly let.
Oh, thanks for
let
that.
up the-
So you have constant communications, keep an eye on them, and when they
Oh, no.
feel like it, they come along.
They're all independent adults making a great.
That's great.
Sheila does a lot of the. Sheila and
Okay.
Jan do a lot of the actual keeping in contact. But yes, we
No,
have
thanks.
weekly contact both at the group and outside. But
Okay.
it's not a medical model. We're not supervising them. It's a
No.
community education model.
That's great.
Yeah.
The venue, the hall, sorry, you probably said this, is how much does that cost?
This year it's cost us $25 a session, and sometimes once a month we have an hour and a half to 2 hour session. And I don't know whether they'll put the price up or not
Okay.
this year.
And where is the
Well,
venue?
it's the Capita Uniting Parish Church Hall in
Okay.
Weka Road, which is a beautiful big hall.
Yeah.
Absolutely superb.
Oh, great. Well, keep up the good work.
Oh,
Thanks.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you,
Yeah, I've just heard nothing but good stories for years now about the work that you're doing. So it's fantastic, and it's lovely to hear Sheila and Jan come along and give us your point of view as well.
Thank you very much.
I will have to say, because I've had to say it to everybody else, we've actually received far more in applications than we have in funds. So that's not to put a wet blanket on anything, but just to let you know that's the difficulty that we're dealing with as well.
Okay.
But it's great work you're doing.
Thank you.
Fabulous.
We appreciate your support over the years.
Cheers.
We do indeed. Thank you very much, everybody.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I think Paraparumu Beach dune restoration, unless Jenny turns up at some stage, we'll go to Waldorf Trust, Tony and crew. Beautiful. Welcome.
Thank you.
The floor is yours.
Tau. I'm Tony, representing Kapiti Waldorf Trust. And this is Tash Robertson, who is the kairahi of Te Rāwhiti Playgroup and Kindergarten, which is attached to the school there. And this is Alana, who is the facilitator of the playgroup that's based in Paraparaumu Beach. So basically, the playgroup that we represent is in at the beach there by the Lock-Up Cafe and I noticed that it's called Middleton Road. Not that we ever knew that, but when we looked it up, it was. And it's not looking too flash down there. Basically, in a Waldorf environment, we really look for the values of healthy, meaningful, beautiful relationships with children and families, and our local society. And we really want the children that come to our playgroup to feel welcomed by the space that they're in. And, you know, we do our best inside, so it looks very beautiful in there with wooden tables and chairs and natural toys and things. And there's a lovely garden with a sand pit and a swing, just like many family gardens. And we really want to promote that family atmosphere. But, and we want that family atmosphere to kind of exude out. But that alleyway that you walk down isn't looking the best because of all the tagging that's down there. You know, Tash noticed that on another fence down there's a beautiful mural. Tempted to call it a mural, by Theo, who you will probably know here, having being a Carvity boy. And we thought that we would like to also have one of his paintings on our fence too. But of course, we are a kindergarten playgroup in school, and so we have got no money left in our piggy bank, and so we come asking for some support for getting Theo to paint for us. We've given you a quote, and we are willing to fundraise to get some more money to put towards it. But we'd like to, ask for your support.
Cool. I'm trying to phrase this in terms of a question, but it's just sort of, it struck me, not that this prejudices anything, but it struck me that this would have fit quite nicely in the arts grants funding.
Oh, we're in the wrong place.
Well, not necessarily, but it is worth going and having a look, because there has been, I'm on the arts funding crew, there has been funding just for this sort of thing.
Oh, cool.
For murals. And any form of public art, really. So just that's worth bearing that in mind.
So go home and apply this afternoon, okay?
Yeah. Well, all I'm saying is that, as I've said to people before, we've received significantly more in terms of applications than we have in terms of available funding. So if funding isn't available, this is the same message for everybody, is if there are other avenues, then you might want to have a look at those as well.
Cool.
But
Thank
certainly
you.
there is an community arts fund
Right, okay.
as well. But Shelley, you have a question?
Do you own the fence you want to paint? If it's down an alleyway?
We rent at the back there.
It's through like the public.
It's not like a public.
Yeah.
So it would be council that owns the fence?
On that side,
Yeah.
maybe.
So it's I don't know if you've been there, but there's one side that's white and it gets painted over every couple of weeks. It just gets horribly tagged constantly. The other side has a beautiful mural from
Theo.
But yeah, that whole walkway as you're walking up to the lock-up cafe.
See view
is-
through
So they've recently done like
Asheville.
the asphalt through there and blocked it off so people can't drive. But yeah, it hasn't stopped the constant vandalism, and you've got little people walking up there. It doesn't feel very nice.
So it may be shared, but it's
I'm just
definitely-
interested because if you want to paint something, if it's not your asset, you would need to investigate who owns it and if they allow that.
Who's the owner?
My dad owns property, so from that side it's fine. I just didn't think about it being council.
So council do own the venue, do they?
No,
No,
it's
No.
privately owned, and the owner is I've just ascertained, the owner is not going to be against it. Yeah, they would be very happy to have it, yeah.
Or his daughter will be
But
really
we
annoyed.
need to get that in writing.
And I'm assuming the condition of the fence is good if you're going to spend a reasonable amount of money painting it.
It's a big solid concrete
Oh,
brick
okay.
fence, yeah.
Yeah.
So not like wood breaking down or anything like that.
we've got a couple of Theo artworks in Otaki.
Yeah.
One recently at the beach, which is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, the wall that you're talking about, it's had a few coats of paint on it over the years, mainly getting rid of graffiti. I've noticed that Theo's work down there, which is outstanding, hasn't been tagged. People tend not to tag artwork. I'm pretty sure that it's a public right of way right through there. So happy to check out the ownership of that and see if there are any complications. Not the ownership of the property, but through the walkway, because presumably if Theo was able to paint one side of it, then I can't imagine what the issue would be on painting the other side of it. But I'm happy to have a look at that for you as well. So we've got contact
lovely.
details
Thank
and things.
you, Nigel.
Yeah.
That's very kind of you.
Yeah. Did you, well, I do have one more question. Did you have something specific in mind about, and also where Theo's painting is? It comes in about maybe 5 or 6 metres from the street level. So how far along were you looking to go?
So we're at the back of that bit.
Yeah.
So I think it probably just depended how much we could raise, to be honest. Yeah, he quoted for the whole thing, but
Oh, right.
depended.
Oh, so the quote, I think it's about $6,000 from memory.
Yeah,
Is
was
that
for the
that's
whole-
for the whole? Wow.
Yeah.
He would probably love to do the whole thing, actually.
He said he would.
Okay. So, does anybody have any questions?
It would be nice. Yeah, I think it would be nice.
I do have one other question. Is it so? Te Rāwhiti is part of
Te Rā School.
Te Rā School.
So the Te Rāwhiti playgroup
Yep.
feeds the kindergarten, which is attached to the school, and then, of course, feeds into the school.
Okay.
Not all kids continue on to the school, others go to local schools, but mostly.
So I had to temper my my original cynicism, thinking this was going to be an internal wall in a playgroup, so that nobody would see. But this
Right.
actually is effectively a public art.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because our first thoughts too, all the foot traffic that comes through for the cafe, the other businesses, the walkway to the beach,
Oh.
playgroups, one fraction of it.
Yeah, and it's a very busy lane in the summertime. It's constant between Seaview Road and the
Lots of bikes through there now too.
yeah. Brilliant. There being no other questions, I just thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll be in touch. Cheers.
And I'll go and apply to the arts.
So I'd have a look at that. It's on the council's website, just under arts.
Arts funding.
Yeah,
Public
yeah,
art.
creative communities. Creative communities, that's the one. Champion, thank you. June restoration doesn't look like we're going to see Jenny. And that's it, folks. So we need to move a resolution to move into public excluded. So would somebody like to move that we moved Councillor Cofford, seconded John. All those in favour? Aye, done. Right.